probably heard of the keto diet and intermittent fasting, and you might be wondering or even confused as to which one is actually better for weight loss. This video, I want to break down both to show you how they work so you can understand for yourself which one might be better for you and whether you actually need one of these at all to be successful in your weight loss attempts. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jody and I help you change your beliefs so you can change your body, your health, and your life. Now, there are so many diets out there. Two of the most common ones I get asked about all the time are the keto diet and intermittent fasting. So if you haven't heard of these, the keto diet is basically where you restrict carbohydrate intake and you eat mostly fats and protein. And fasting or intermittent fasting is where you restrict all your meals into a certain time period of the day. So usually, or one of the most common ways to do that is the 16:8 ratio. So you will eat all your meals in an 8-hour period of the day, just say from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then the rest of the day, those other 16 hours, you are not allowed to eat at all. But you can drink water and have like black coffee and black tea and basically anything without calories in it. When it comes to weight loss, neither of these diets are magic. They do not cause weight loss in themselves. To lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, and this can be achieved without doing a keto diet or without doing intermittent fasting. But what these diets do is they provide an easy way to kind of create a calorie deficit in your day if you set them up correctly. And what I mean by that is you can do keto and not lose any weight at all, because in some cases, if you go replacing all your carbohydrates with extra fats, you won't be creating a calorie deficit and therefore you won't lose weight. It's the same with fasting. If you go and eat the same meals just in a smaller window of the day, you won't lose weight because you're not in a calorie deficit. To show you how this works, I've made this kind of little diagram thing. So just say this is a normal day of food. You have meal 1, which is 500 calories, meal 2, which is 500 calories, meal 3, just say this is breakfast, lunch, dinner, 500 calories, and then meal 4, that can be dessert or that can be all the snacks that you eat for the day, and that totals 500 calories. So all up for your day's worth of food, that is 2,000 calories. Now, if your total daily energy expenditure is 2,000 calories, so that is the amount of energy you expend each day, if you consume that same amount of energy, you are going to maintain your weight. Now, what the keto diet does and what fasting does is it helps to create a calorie deficit. So what that looks like is if you skip this first meal, immediately you're taking 500 calories off your day. So you skip this, meal 1 starts here, you have 500 calories, meal 2, 500 calories, and then all your snacks might total 500 calories. This is eaten within 8 hours of the day if you're doing a 16:8 ratio. And then all up for the whole day, because you've skipped that first meal, you are only eating 1,500 calories. Now, if your maintenance energy requirements are 2,000 calories, that is now a calorie deficit, and that means you will lose weight. If you look at the keto diet, kind of the same thing, but you are now back to eating 4 meals of the day. But just say because you've restricted carbohydrates, like you cut carbs out of all of these meals now, so you're saving yourself, let's just say 125 calories each meal, and as a result, by the end of the day, you get to 1,500 calories. That is how many calories you have consumed for the day, and because it is less than your daily energy needs, your maintenance calorie intake of 2,000 calories, that is a calorie deficit, and that means you will lose weight. Now, coming back to a normal day of food, if you go and reduce all of these meals by 100 calories, so let's just say that becomes 400, so you just take off 100 calories. That can be by reducing your portion size a little bit, or replacing some of your carbs with extra vegetables, not cutting them out completely, just reducing the amount of carbohydrate, or maybe choosing a lower calorie source of protein instead of a higher fat source of protein. There's so many ways to go about creating this calorie deficit. So if you just took off 100 calories from all of your meals, what you would result in is a deficit as well, because that would be 1600 calories. You probably can't see that, but anyway, you get the idea. So by taking 100 calories off, that would total 1600 calories, and that is still a calorie deficit. So if you do that, you will still lose weight. I hope now you can see that you don't actually need either the keto diet or intermittent fasting to lose weight. You can create a calorie deficit without one of these diets just by making simple food swaps and being smarter with some of your food selection, cutting down portion sizes a little bit, cutting out drinks with calories. Like again, if you go and eat 1, 2, 3 meals and stop snacking, so get rid of these 500 calories, that is another way to create a calorie deficit. So just say you would rather do either keto or fasting, which one would be better? The answer to that really depends on you and your preferences, because you have to remember this weight loss stuff, especially if you're trying to lose fat, it takes time. You have to be in this for the long run. If you don't like eating breakfast, then maybe fasting could be an easy way for you to create a calorie deficit in your day. If you don't really like eating carbohydrate, then maybe keto could be good for you. You have to remember you're gonna have to stick to this for a long time. And one of the downsides of doing keto is that your workout performance is going to suck. So if you want to get a better looking body, if you have any goals to kind of build muscle mass, then you want to probably be eating some carbohydrate in your diet. If you are really overweight or if you have poor insulin sensitivity, then the keto could be good for you for a period of time, just until your insulin sensitivity improves, and then you can start slowly adding in carbohydrates to your diet again. But of course, speak to your doctor about that, because if you have issues with insulin or if you have diabetes or anything, you need to speak to them. Don't listen to me. Now, fasting on the other hand does seem to have some health benefits, but then again, there's a lot of people that don't do well fasting. They just can't function. If you're one of those people, you don't need to do fasting to lose weight. You can just create a calorie deficit in another way. Now, what you have to understand is both these diets work if you set them up the right way and are actually in a deficit at the end of the day. But in doing these diets, they restrict you, especially when it comes to going out and socializing. So if you are someone that enjoys socializing, if you go out often, even on the weekends, just say you go out for breakfast, or like if you go out for breakfast and you're fasting and you can't eat because you're on this fasting diet, that's not going to be very sustainable. Really enjoy eating carbs, then again, it's not going to be very sustainable to try and do keto. Weight loss is hard, but you can make it easier by choosing a diet that works for you. There is no need to cut out any food groups. There is no need to cut out meals. You just have to create a calorie deficit somehow. And how you do that is going to make a big difference to your success long term with weight loss. Because if you do it in a way that makes your life easier, like just say you don't like eating breakfast and it's a hassle, if you just cut out breakfast, that makes your life easier and also creates a deficit. So weight loss is going to be a lot easier than if you really like eating breakfast and then you choose to fast and you struggle to then have energy to work and stuff like that. That's going to be harder to stick to long term, and you're constantly going to be thinking about breakfast and how it's so hard that you can't have it, and you're less likely to actually succeed with your weight loss attempts if you do that. So I hope that helped you see that you don't actually need either keto or fasting for weight loss. But if you do want to try keto or fasting, there's nothing wrong with that either, as long as it works for you and you can stick to it. If you have any questions on this, please send me an email. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.